Alright guys, terribly sorry about that. Had to reset that really quick. Don't know exactly what that was. Um, but now that should be working much better. And we will be just... I'm just trying to go through a couple of these issues that keep popping up. There we go. There's that. There's that. There's that. Okay. Anyway. Mega buddy, can you close your door? Sure. Thank you. Oh, go back. No. There we go. Okay. Alright. Think everything should be good now. Okay. Have sound. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is coming through the way it should be. I'm just trying to make sure that everything... Alright, seems to be good. Alright. Okay. Alright, anyway, like I was trying to say. So, there are realistically 1,000,001 ways that you can go through this game. And I'm not going to sit there and argue the point that, you know, I'm some Dark Souls master. There are people who are way better than I am, that know the mechanics way better than I do, and I just want to get all past that bullshit now. So realistically, when you're going to come in and start developing your character, a lot of them sound cool, sound interesting. If it's your first time through, if you're just getting into the Dark Souls series, the Knight is probably going to be your easiest thing to start off with. One, his strength and his vigor are really up there for a starting class. And this shield, I want to say his shield is is a 100% physical damage reduction. So as long as your shield is up and it's not magic based or anything else like that, you're not going to take any damage, which is kind of a good thing, especially if you're just starting to learn the mechanics of it. You can hold that shield up and be able to, you know, kind of just tackle through, even if you're on some of the harder enemies. The sword that he has is really not that bad either. I want to say it's just a basic straight sword, but it is a very basic, easy to learn, easy going. If you just kind of want to be able to get through a good chunk of the game learning it, then the Knight is your best way to go. The Mercenary, I want to say that's the Dragon Crest shield, the wooden dragon shield or wooden shield, I don't remember. Anyway, he does use curve blades, and he is the first one that can go into dual wielding. I want to say that the Thief can as well from the start. Is the Thief? No, the Thief has the target shield. The Mercenary is a little bit harder. Still a decent starting class to go with, especially if you want to go into having a little bit of spell casting as well as a little bit of dex weapons. You know, really quick hits, getting out, cast a spell, get in, quick hits, get out, cast a spell, so on and so forth. You know, it's fun. It's more of an entertaining class. Little bit of a slower start, but overall not that bad. The warrior class, this is your very straight up, very high damage. You're just going to be aggressive. He does start off with the battle axe, and the battle axe is a pretty decent starting weapon. The shield, I want to say it's a 75 or 80% reduction. But as far as his armor and his weapon, it allows you to get in two-hand, get the work done, and not have to worry too much about your environment. The Herald is more so of your faith-based warrior. So again, like the Mercenary, you're going to be able to cast a spell, which is based in intellect. If you're the Herald, you have, again, you've got some physical damage and some decent health, but you'll be able to perform miracles very easily earlier on. Thief is definitely more so your dex build character. You're going to use a lot of daggers, a lot of thinner blades, and this is now starting to get into the, you know, you got to be good at parrying, you got to be good at, you know, knowing how to do your timing, and it comes down to a little bit more of being able to learn like the FPS of the game, the frames per second, and learning enemy movements. Or you can be able to use bows earlier on and kind of just be able to take things out from afar rather than just going right in head on. Now, each one of these you're going to have to do in your own way and make the character your own. Everybody has a different playing style. There will be people who'll be like, well, you're the noob approach. You always hold your shield up and stuff like that. Dude, I have loved my great sword and my great shield combo since I was playing Dark Souls 1, and I enjoyed the shit out of the game. And there were plenty of PvP people that I absolutely wrecked. Now, people will say, like, well, you're holding your shield up. That's going to leave you open to this attack and that attack. And you know what? I don't care. I'm not here to become a professional at this game. I'm not here to do anything but enjoy the game. So again, like I said, this walkthrough is just my personal opinion of being able to enjoy it. Now, the Assassin is a much deeper part of the Thief. Now, if you look at the Thief stats, you've got attunement at 11. That means you can have a little bit of spell. Well, yeah, because you have intelligence too. Again, a little bit more spell-based with some melee. And the Assassin's not too far off from that, but it's a little bit deeper down into dexterity and into intelligence. Your attunement also goes up, and it starts off at level 10. So if you're looking to have a little bit more creative fun, my personal thing is the Assassin isn't that bad, but you're going to be starting off with a lot of thrusting weapons, and again, you still need to be able to be good at that parry. Frontal parries, it's really about timing, and you're not going to be doing it to any boss. Now, any human-sized target, you'll be able to do it. But anything that's realistically bigger than you're not going to be able to do that. And you're going to be doing a lot of, like, dodge rolling and stuff like that. Sorcerers, it's just straight up that. You are realistically sacrificing a lot of physical damage for a lot of intellectual damage. So you're going to be able to cast a lot of spells. And with this one, you're starting off with, you know, 3 really good things. You're starting off with the, what is it called? Is it the Dragon Crest Ring? Or the Blue Dragon Ring? I'm getting Dark Souls 2 and this one mixed up because actually I'm playing through Dark Souls 2 with one of my friends. And it's literally the same items, but they've got a couple of different names. But anyway, again, so you're sacrificing a little bit of health and a little bit of physical reduction to be able to have more long-ranged and casting abilities. Obviously, the Sorcerer is going to have the highest intellect to start off with. So if you're looking to have more spells, then obviously the Sorcerer is a good thing to start off with. Pyromancer, again, still has high intellect, but again, now you're gaining faith. If you really want to be a well-rounded caster, being able to do a lot of things from far away, realistically, the Pyromancer is one of the best things to go with, because again, your pyromancies do cost you intellect, but having that faith as a backup, makes you kind of a well-rounded, because you can be able to use your pyromancy skills and turn around and be able to, you know, duck out and heal, or if you're playing in a group, being able to heal the group. I have seen a lot of people in Dark Souls 3, especially now that they do the like team battlings, like 3v3, or I don't even know what it goes all the way up to now, but I've seen quite a few pyromancers being used as pyromancer healers. And they'll use like chaotic spells. There's one that I'm trying to remember the name of it. I cannot remember the name of it to save the life of me, which is pretty bad. Because I absolutely love this game, but again, like I said, I've got so many different, and I've been reading up on a lot of Dark Souls 1, and the spells do change, but they pretty much all do the same thing. But anyway, clearing on the cleric, this is again your pure faith build. Now the thing that is really good about the cleric is the weapon you start off with, the Morning Star, I want to say it is a very good starting physical damage weapon. It is really good when you two-hand it, and if you're really into miracles, you'll be able to plow through it very quickly. My friend Michael, please close the door. My friend that I play with was able to pretty much turn this into a Holy Knight, which is a custom build. And if you go on Dark Souls Wiki, you can see a lot of player-based builds. And it is really enjoyable. The gear that you start off with is not the greatest, but is definitely good for the class that you're playing as. Now, the very last thing that you have here is a deprived. If you want to be able to turn your character into exactly what you want it to be and really not have to worry about allocating points, this is going to be the best way to start if you have played Dark Souls before. If you get the mechanics, if you get the timing, if you understand the overall of how the game is supposed to be worked. I have played Dark Souls 1 as a deprived, but I've also been through that game like 27 times. And Dark Souls 2, I have played as deprived back when I had it on the PS3. I have yet to go through Dark Souls 3 as a deprived, and I probably won't do it for starting now, because I'd rather you guys be able to see something that has a more enjoyable start. So with all of that being said, for right now, I think I may actually start as the Pyromancer. I might actually do it. Starting off with just the backs. Alright, hey guys, thanks for joining up on the stream. We're doing a Dark Souls 3 walkthrough, just going through and explaining more and more, just because it's sad, everything's done, and I will be doing one of these for Dark Souls 2 as well, and cross your fingers that eventually they will bring Dark Souls 1 as a remastered to PS4, because I would absolutely die, and I would probably stream that game every day, because I loved Dark Souls 1. Alright, so yeah, I think we're going to go in as the Pyromancer. Again, the Pyromancer has a little bit more. Again, if you're a little bit more used to the game, you know what? Just for shits and giggles, actually, we're gonna go into tonight. Just so I can show you guys a little bit of the advantage. And again, if you have anybody who hasn't played the game, then you know what? Share the stream with them. I know that there are a lot of people out there who there's a huge following for the Dark Souls games, but just as much as they're following, there's also people like, well, there's no way I can do that, and this game's too hard and stuff like that. It's really not that hard to get used to. It's just a matter of going through, it's getting used to your buttons, you know, it's not that bad. All right, we're gonna go in and we're going to hold on 1 second, guys, I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Was waiting for lunch for me and the boy, and now I've got it back, and we should be all set. There shouldn't be any other interruptions. But, hey, such is life. Alright, and we're gonna do... Alright, and we're gonna go with the burial gift. Now, this is where things can, it's kinda, it depends on what you want. Again, if you want to make the game slightly easier, if you go with the life ring, it's going to give you a little bit more life to deal with in the very beginning of the game. Fire gem will allow you to upgrade your weapon sooner to a fire elemental weapon. If you want to play PvP, you could start off with a cracked red herb. Do not suggest it, especially if you're new to the game. Let's see. So again, we're gonna do the life ring. If you want to customize your character, go for it. I personally don't get too into that because again, I always keep armor on. It's my playstyle. There are those who choose to play the game without armor, who use very interesting builds, and I say that's on them. Listen, that is yay, fries. Okay, that is her food. This is okay, so welcome to the Cemetery of Ash. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Alright, now when you get in, there's going to be a bunch of messages on the ground telling you how to do everything. It's your basic controls, you know, right stick does this, left stick does this, and basics are, you've got R1 is your light swing, R2 is your heavy. If you hit triangle, you can dual wield your sword. If you hold triangle, you can dual wield your shield. There are a couple of instances where this is pretty good because when you do dual wield your shield, it absorbs a little bit more damage and it takes up a little less of your stamina. To hold up your shield is L1, and to parry is to use L2. There are a couple more other things, like if you two-hand in this and then go into L2, this is your stance, which will use the blue bar up top there. Now, this is pretty much casting for somebody who is a mage. I'm sorry, who isn't a mage. So if you're a mage, that's pretty much your mana bar. If you're a physical user, then that is pretty much your special stamina bar. Now, if you see, when I go to hit, that used up not only stamina, but it used up the magic bar as well. So you need to be careful. Those attacks do quite a bit of damage, but it costs, and you know, you only have so much of those. So if you want to use a lot of special attacks, then it's smart to build that up. If not, leave it alone. Alright, so right over here, as soon as you leave, there's going to be a path that comes out to the right, and we're going to grab a soul of desecrated, I want to say desecrated corpse. What's that called again? Yeah. Soul of a deserted corpse, sorry. And then we're going to backtrack. And if you see around, there's a lot of really good scenery. And, okay. When something's here, again, if you're playing as the knight, it's pretty easy to get around things. Now, that is what's called a backstab. Once you're locked onto an enemy, and you move your way around, once you get right to about mid of him, you just tap your light attack and you'll perform a backstab, and it's known as a visceral attack. It does a lot of damage, and there are certain enemies, just like you saw with him, even at virtually nothing, you're able to take them right down, which is useful. Now right here, this is when you get your Ashen Estus. Now if you look down on the bottom, that's pretty much your D-pad representation in the bottom left hand corner. So if you hit Left on the D-pad, you're going to lose your shield, lose your sword. Hitting down switches whatever items are there. Now, it's not losing, you're just switching, because you can have up to, let's see, 3 weapons and 3 shields. So again, if it's your first time playing, get that shield up, lock on by clicking down on R3, walk up, get that backstab. And practice that now, because it is one of those things that if you're an early player, like this is your first time going through, it does take some time to get used to. I know when I was first playing Dark Souls 1, it took me quite some time to really learn how to perform that. But once you get it down, you can pretty much do it all the time. Now see, like right there, I just tried to do it. I wasn't lined up just right, so I completely missed. Now, once you've cleared out this area... Sorry guys, I'm absolutely starving. Alright, so once you get to this area, you have one of 2 choices. You can either just go straight on ahead, and it's going to lead you to your first bonfire, which those of you who have played like Final Fantasy, or if you've even played other Dark Souls, you know it's a saving area. Or you can go to the right over here, and if you go down here, there's kind of like, I'm not going to call him a mini-boss, he's just a decently strong enemy, but he will give you some stuff that you need early on in the game. It's just kind of a bonus. Now, Dark Souls is very rewarding when it comes to stuff that you get from enemies. And, 1 second. Couldn't reach my Dr. Pepper. Did they give me... I said ketchup, but... Oh, they did not give me any duck sauce. That makes me kind of sad. Like, how so off? You know what? The game audio is off. It shouldn't... Hold on, let's see. Because I don't have a delay set up for it. Alright, yeah, let me check that really quick then. Because I don't think I have a... Oh, good grief, I do. Alright, then let's see if we put... Shouldn't need any of that then. Alright, so let's see if that fixes that. Alright, so let me see. So I'm going to move over here. I'm going to hit this rock. And does that seem pretty spot on? Awesome. That's all we needed. Okay. So, when you first come into this area, the first thing you're probably going to see is a lot of these red stains, and those are what's called blood spots. And when you find those, you can use those to kind of see how people died in the area. Now, this only works if you actually are online, and that means you have PSN and everything else like that. You'll see that there's a soul item over there, but obviously as soon as we step in to try to go toward that enemy over there, the crystal lizard is going to aggro on us. Now, we're going to want to lock onto him, and with him, the weak spot is not right in front. You're going to want to hit him as much as you can in the front. Ooh, that was a big hit. Now, if you take a big hit like that, you're going to back off the enemy, let him do that. You're going to hit square to use your Estus Flask. Oh shit, turn around, there we go. Wow, that is really loud. And we're gonna hold that. And we're gonna bring that down just a little bit. Alright, there we go. Now I feel like that won't be too bad. Alright, so anyway, like I said, if you focus on the front of him, you can be able to weaken him down enough. Now, I don't know if the beginning sword is really all that great to do it with. Now, if you notice, even though I have my shield up, I'm taking damage whenever the crystals hit me, because the crystals are magic versus him just coming at me and lunging. Those are physical attacks. So we're going to use another Estus, lock back onto him, and we're going to see if we can get a heavy in there. And unfortunately, that was just really, really, really bad timing. Oh, God. That really hurt. Nope. Alright, so we're going to hopefully let him do a rolling attack. Awesome. Get out of the way of that. Heal up again. And he's going to breathe. And we're going to stay away from that. Alright, so now we're going to get back in. And this is another cool enemy. If you stay in tight, you can cause quite a bit of damage. Biggest thing is if you are going to walk around with your shield up, when you are not being attacked, let your shield down. Because if you hold it up the entire time, it will take a long time for you to build up stamina, and losing that stamina every second counts in Dark Souls. So not having enough stamina to be able to take a big hit like I just took is a really dangerous thing, and it is a surefire ingredient for death. Ooh, just barely got that. Now, if you saw, had I not let go of my shield, I would not have been able to take that, so I let it go really quick and put the shield back up. I am gonna die. I am amazed that I'm not dead just yet. And those are going to come through. And the biggest thing about Dark Souls is ever true. Just be ready to die again and again and again and again and again. Because you will. Oh, jeez. Oh, that shield just barely saved my life. I may actually beat him. As long as I don't get hit with a crystal attack, then I will be totally fine. Okay, here we go. Getting in. Gonna try to finish him. Oh, don't hit those crystals. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes! Get it! Yes! Alright. Now, sometimes you do just have to pile in. Like, it's so bad sometimes. Alright. Now, we've got no health. We have no Estus Flask. This is not a comfortable situation to be in. Are you kidding me? I took fall damage. I took fall damage and killed myself. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I just did that. Well, at least now you get to see what happens every single time you die. Every single time you die, you have the area reset. Now, it's either when you die or when you use a bonfire. Now, this can be a good thing because you can use it to soul farm. So every time you kill something, you get souls. And those souls are two things at the same exact time. They are your experience in order to level up, and they are your money. So it is currency and experience. So be very careful how you spend things, because it's great if you can afford an awesome weapon and you just bought that weapon, but now you don't have the stats to be able to use it. And it's great if you have the stats to use a weapon that you can't afford. So you got to let things build, kind of equally. So it's like, and that's why I tell people, whatever you're going to go with, kind of try to stick with it. Like, don't put a lot of time and money into going in and making a dex build and, all you're focusing on is pure dex. And then you turn around and you're like, you know what? I want to be a sorcerer. Well, yeah, you can absolutely respec, but it's kind of a pain in the ass, because then you got to relook everything up and figure out how to switch it over. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's just stick with what you're used to. And wait for your new game to try building something else. Alright, so anyway, after you beat him and you get the Titanite scale from beating him, come over here and you get a soul item. Alright, so now that we've cleared out that area again, we're not going to roll and take fall damage this time. And Beard, how does everything sound now? Is everything not too bad? I'm actually going to turn this back on. Just kind of want to make sure that everything's coming through okay and it's not like overbearingly loud, because that's the last thing I want, is for everything to sound like crap and garbled and a mess. Because for whatever reason, it's always my audio that I have. Like, video, I have, like, no problem with, but it's like audio. Audio always seems... Now, see, like, okay, there we go. Audio capture seemed to be spiking like crazy. And that's the other thing I hate. I just hate how... Alright, awesome. And, alright, get back over to here. Okay. So, after clearing out that area and getting your soul item... You're done in this area, and realistically just think about this as the tutorial. And, well, this whole area getting up to the very first boss is your tutorial area. Dark Souls is infamous for not explaining how it works at all. It is one of those things that is a trial by fire. This is your first really great picturesque scene. You can't see really anything else, any other part of the game, until you go to your first area. So, right from up here, you can see your first bonfire is right there, and you can see a couple of other enemies. There are a couple of more items that we're going to grab, and right there is the boss arena, and that is going to be Firelink Shrine. And if you just look around, there's a lot of good... Oh, you know what? I actually never even turned back and looked at that castle, to be completely honest. It's kind of cool looking. Anyway. I've played this game so many times I've never taken a chance to look back. Because I don't look back. That's not the direction you're going. Always look forward. Eyes front. Don't look at your past. Now, when you first find a bonfire, you can do one of two things. Obviously, you should do both, unless you really know what you're doing. When you light a bonfire, which is just interacting with it one time, that is pretty much a checkpoint, which allows you to, if you die, you'll go back to this spot instead of all the way back to wherever you were last. If you rest at it, that refills, like, it'll make it so that way your weapons aren't as damaged, it'll make it so that way all of your Estus are filled, and if you have any ammunition, like arrows and stuff like that, that you have in storage, it'll replenish it, so it kind of refills everything, which is great. Alright, so we're going to come right down here, and again, lock on, shields up, and now, there are a couple of different ways to play it. Like I said, if you're playing with the knight, you can absolutely take advantage of the fact that you have this 100% reduction shield, or hit triangle, and you can just go ham on these people. And again, as you can see, with no shield, you're obviously way more open to attack, but you kind of need to be more aggressive with them, so that way they don't get a chance to be able to attack you. Now, the great thing about two-handing is that your heavy does so much more damage now. But for right now, that's a little bit more advanced, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But for right now, especially going to the tutorial area, we're just going to focus on just using our light or heavies and holding our shield up to prevent that damage. Now remember, so like that crossbow guy is right there, if they're using anything besides just regular old physical damage, it will get through. Now, it'll reduce whatever physical damage the object would do, but you're still going to get hit with whatever little bit of elemental damage or magic damage or whatever is there. Okay, so we got our firebomb, and we are actually going to quickly equip that. Now, here's the difference. If you go into your inventory, inventory is going to allow you to find things to actually use or consume. So if I wanted to get more souls right now, I could eat the fading soul or the soul, whatever souls are there, or if you wanted to be able to just use certain items like things to up stats and stuff like that, you would come to your inventory. If you want to make it something you can use while you're in battle, you want to come to your equipment. So down here, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to equip those firebombs. Now that's part of the down D-pad. So if you see, again, here's my Estus flask, that's my Ashen flask to fill the blue bar, and now I have my firebombs. So I'm going to keep my firebombs equipped. I'm actually going to use, actually no, we're going to hold on to that. What we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and we're going to come back up to where we came down to fight those guys. Now, we're not going to go down there just yet. We're going to take a left, and what we're going to do is we're going to start from right here. Now, if you're going to look, there's a little ledge right there, and there's an item down there. What we're going to do is we're going to back up some, we're going to hold circle down to run, and then when you get to here, you're going to click down on left stick, and then grab that. Now, this is the first time you get to look at another mechanic. If you lock onto it, and you don't have to lock onto an enemy, but it just makes you have a much easier time of not messing it up. Literally, you can walk off your edge and hit R1 as you're going down, and you perform a dropping attack. There we go. And slash. Okay, so we've cleared out this area. That's the boss right there. Now, because I want to make sure that I'm not consuming too many Estus, I'm gonna run back up here, and yeah, we're gonna have to fight through this again, but it's completely okay. We're gonna take the shortcut. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back up here, and we're gonna rest at the bonfire to refill our health. Oh. So how are you doing today, Beard? Got anything cool going on? Alright, so this is the boss area, and generally you will always know what a boss area is because it's always going to have a very arena-like feel. Now, luckily this is not an aggro boss, so it's not one of those you just enter the area and all of a sudden he's like, you know, your soul's mine. Sweet, sweet. Let me know what you think about it, because I definitely want to see it. It seems like it's going to be a good one. I saw the first one, absolutely fell in love with it. And Mrs. Galaxy Star. Oh, by the way, really cool. I don't know if I was telling you about it or if I was talking to Jake about it yesterday on his stream. But my fiance, Mrs. Galaxy Star, was studying to pass her state exam for today for becoming an insurance rep. And unfortunately, the last time that she took it, she did fail, but you know, she came home, she cried a little bit, and then she literally just got that, I don't know if you watch much anime, but she just got that Naruto passion, I'm gonna absolutely do this. And I've never seen this woman study so hard, and she passed the test today. We were literally up till, I want to say, Jake was streaming pretty late last night with Resident Evil 7, and I was up pretty late with him. I want to say it was almost 1 o'clock when I got off, something around there. But she studied till then last night, because I promised her I would not go to bed until she was done studying. So thank you, Jake, if you happen to see this, for being up as late as you were, entertaining me with Resident Evil, because you saved me. But no, she passed. She texted me, and super, super pumped. Alright, so anyway, first boss. Realistically, there's really not much to this boss. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up to him, and the only thing we can do is remove the sword. So we're going to take this out. And that obviously is going to start. Now what I like to do is I like to try to get a couple of quick hits in right here, because they do count. Now the greatest thing about him is you want to stay towards the arm side of him, because as you do that, he really can't get that many hits on you. The only thing you do have to worry about is his grab attack. Now anytime you can get behind, you just want to get it in, and you want to really watch out for that left hook. I'm sorry, right hook. You definitely want to just keep walking around and circling around, because the more you do that, the more you're gonna be able to dodge those like that, the grab attacks and his swing. Now, these guys, when they transform, are a bit of a bitch. Now, this is the phase 2 of the boss fight. If you want to just do it purely physical, you can just stay right in on the side of him where we just were and just get in. But luckily, these guys are weak against fire. Now, like I said, those shields, as long as they are up, will absorb 100% of that physical damage coming in. Now, I'm going to lob fire. Ooh, grease. Jeez. Okay, we're going to get in behind him. We're going to finish this bitch. Now, if you're a pyromancer here, now you're going to take more damage because, yeah, you don't have the 100% physical reduction, but you will be able to do massive quantities more of damage because he is pretty much allergic to fire. And we're going to use a little two-hand action right here, get a couple of good hits in, It is possible to stagger this boss, but you're not going to do it on your first playthrough. There's just no way. Did take some damage there because I had my back exposed to him. Alright, and crap, let's get in, and we're just going to finish him with the heavy. Done. Alright. And just like that, we have a new bonfire. Which most boss areas will either A, have a bonfire pop up in their room, or it'll be literally right after the boss area. So it is good with that, so that way... literally about to choke on myself. You'll be able to use... wow, what am I trying to say? That choke like scared me. You will be able to use the bonfire to save or whatever right after, so always plan out your Dark Souls playtime accordingly, because this game can consume a large amount of time, especially if you're going to go into like soul farming or you're looking to get a particular type of weapon. There are certain weapons that you can only get from enemies dropping them. There are certain ones that you can only buy. There are certain ones that you can only craft. And crafting in this is not resource gathering. It is, you get a boss soul. And, like, for instance, did we get one from him? No, it's the next time we fight him. Okay. Now that you're done that, there's no sense in backtracking because we already cleared out that area. Coming right up to the heaviest doors in the world. One thing I love about Dark Souls is like every door that your character must open literally must weigh at least 10 tons. Okay, now that we're through here, we're going to come right over and grab this soul item. And it's a broken straight sword. I don't know really if there's any use for that. I know back in original Dark Souls days, you had certain weapons that, and actually, I'm not gonna lie, I do miss that mechanic. Back in original Dark Souls 1, you would have to sacrifice some weapons in order to make a boss weapon. So there were certain weapons that you had to have a straight sword in order to turn that straight sword into a boss weapon, or you had to have a long sword, or you had to have a pike or a spear, or, you know, a scepter or something like that. And I really, really, really miss that mechanic. I miss the fact of having to sacrifice something in order to get something better. The fact now that literally, I mean, I guess using the boss's soul is still what's done. But it just, I don't know. Why am I getting my ass handed to me? My timing is so off. Alright, back off! Oh, by the way, now, if you look up in the top left-hand side of the corner, you'll see a little, like, stop sign looking thing. And now it's on fire, when before it wasn't. That, when it says that, that means that you are embered. And if you actually look at my character now, it's almost like he's got little fire embers all in him, and, you know, disregard the arrow. What that pretty much means is that your character is a little bit stronger now, and actually you will gain more HP for being in your embered form, and it pretty much means that you are ready for any kind of PvP interaction, to invade worlds or to be invaded yourself, so be careful of that. And you're also ready to do any kind of multiplayer aspect of the game. If you are trying to have a friend come into your game, you need to be the one that is embered. Your friend does not. And if you are the one that's trying to go into your friend's game, all you gotta do is just put down a summon sign and you'll be able to hop into your friend's game. Now, being here, you have, again, two options. You can either A, walk right into Firelink Shrine, or you can come over to this side and get a couple of items. We're gonna come over here and grab a couple of things really quick. Now, again, two decisions. Up here for some easy guys and some items, or you can potentially try to fight that guy up there. We're not going to do that just yet because I don't suggest fighting an NPC like that just yet, especially if it is your first time going through a Souls game. definitely get more of your mechanics down before you go into that. I will still show the fight, but I'm going to do some leveling up before we do that. Anyway, on this body right here, there was an ember, and now if you come into here, again, this is one of those consumables that you would just use here. I try not to keep them on my belt because it's too easy to end up using them instead of a different item. So embers are what helps you turn into, you know, your better form. Having more health, running up for PvP. Alright, over here to the left, you're going to have, I want to say, yeah, a Tomer Bone. Okay. And did we already get that? Yes, we did. Okay. I can't remember. Was that a ring? No. No, that was an ember. Later it will be. Alright. Alright, so we're going to come down here and do that. I suggest not doing a lot of jumping until you can get stuff that does reduction on fall damage. Alright, so welcome to Firelink Shrine. Alright, biggest rule. Well, I will do you a little favor, like you did me a little favor. Let me see if I can find the link for that really quick. The audio does sound really good for the Yeti. Right now I have it set up for, there's a setting that, essentially, I'll bring it down. So with the Yeti, there's 3 mics actually in this one mic. So you've got one in the front that's towards me, and you've got, 2 that kind of face out towards, like, this way. But there's a setting, and I'm actually, let's see if I can focus in on it a little bit. Okay, so right here, this dial, there's a setting on it that makes it so that way all that works is the front mic, and that allows, one, it allows for way less background music or background sounds, and it allows your voice to sound really, really clear. Also, it's the gain setting that I have it on, but I was watching a tutorial on YouTube about how to get the Yeti to sound as professional as possible, and what I was able to find is he uses 2 programs. One is called Voice Meter, which is something you can download off of the same site you gave me the stroller off of. I'm just trying to see if I can find it in my... See if I can find the video really quick, and I'll put a link to it. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can find that guy. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Alright, so I'm going to pause that really quick. Alright, so I'm going to give you the link to this guy. If you go to that channel, he's the one that I got my stuff off of. So if you go to him, he will give you all of the settings to make everything sound as great as capable. So he uses 2 programs. One of them is a virtual cable, and that's what allows you to use the settings from the voice meter to make everything sound better. And what the voice meter does is just really, it's a sound switchboard, but a virtual one. So that way you can make this sound like it's in a studio rather than just... Excuse me for 1 second.
now.
I tried using his whole tutorial on Snip, and I still can't get it to work. I don't know what it is. Like, Snip, I have never, even when I started streaming, like, almost 3 years. Oh, that's crazy. About 3 years ago. I could never get Snip to work. I don't know whether it's I'm just putting it in wrong, or if it's the program. I don't even know. I have no clue. Alright. So don't do what I did when I put my controller down. Don't hit these guys. They're just definitely NPCs that you don't want to do that to until you know what they're doing. This guy, you want to definitely exhaust.
Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Good. And they'd have us seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we are talking true legends, with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots. Don't you think? What a sick joke, asking us to seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. We're talking true legends. Those...
Okay, so always double check to make sure that you've exhausted all of the dialect that is available with NPCs, because literally almost every single NPC, I'm pretty sure every NPC has some kind of a quest line that you have to go through. Alright, so here, this is the Bonfire Keeper. I really don't care about what she has to say, because she just chills. Alright, so it's going to cost us 800. Now, what you're going to see is if you look in the left-hand corner, or top left-hand corner, you're going to see your current level, which is level 9 for me, the amount of souls I have, and the amount of souls is required to level up. Now, every time I hit it, that requirement is going to be a little bit higher each time. Now, for me, I personally... Okay, I will see you later. Thanks for stopping in. Alright, let's see. we're definitely going to do that. Actually. There we go. Okay, so that was 1500. And we're going to talk to her.
I've lots of little, and Ash has his.
Again, just exhaust the dialogue. Does she have anything that I want right now? Anything? No, I don't think so.
Ash in one.
Andre.
Well, you toil, let me, I am.
Do you have anything? Reinforce? Only have one Titanite shard right now. Infuse. I don't have anything for that. So that is it. The only other NPC in here is up there. So come around here. I am just trying to get through this part rather quickly because this part, there's really not much. Talk to him. This is the guy, every time you beat a boss, you can bring this guy, the soul of the boss, and turn it into a weapon. But you won't be able to do it until you beat... I want to say it's technically the second boss. Alright. Now, the sword we took out of the guy now becomes the bonfire in here. And tutorial is now done. And now we're going into the actual first part of the game. So anyway, guys, I'm going to take a quick pause. Just thank you, those of you who are joining up. For those of you who will be seeing it later, I am going to be trying to upload these to YouTube and make sure I can actually export those. If you want to look me up on YouTube, you can check out the channel VidiGeek Gaming. So it's VIDIE and then geek, all one word. I did slow down for a little bit, only because there was just so much crap going on YouTube, and it was realistically just becoming a very hostile area for a small timer like me to try to even get things started, especially where I've got two different channels. I've got one for gaming news and one for random person. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll bring you in. And sure, why not? I'll bring you in. Alright, activate this. Alright, so when you get here, you have two options again. You can either go to the right, and you'll be able to go get a new weapon, or you go to the left, and left's a pain in the ass. So we're gonna go to the right first. And we're gonna wave. Just brought these two guys in. What's up? What's up? Alright, let's go kill shit. And I have to say that once you get into this game and you start playing with people, this is when it just becomes so much fun. Not only can you kick so much more ass than you could before, it's just that much more enjoyable. Oh, look at that. He's already up there. Backstab. What now? The game does become harder with each person that you draw in. The game will adjust so that way the difficulty is enough to make sure that you're not just going to go through and plow through the game. Absolutely, Beard. I'm glad you made that a point. Absolutely. If you are new to Dark Souls, then summoning people is something that you are gonna. Ow! Was not paying attention. Is something that you're gonna want to do quite often. But be careful, because there are things in this that will absolutely. You don't want to summon a purple phantom or a red phantom. Purple phantom, literally, they can decide what they're going to do. They can decide whether or not they're going to help you or kill you. So you're taking a gamble. If you have a friend who wants to be a purple, that's great, because it kind of is good for you in the long run when it comes to... yeah, exactly. Beard has a point that absolutely... that going it alone can become very frustrating very quickly. And, you know, if you need help... There's always communities that you can go onto. There's always, I mean, good grief, there has to be probably, I want to say there's like 50 some odd different Dark Souls communities on the PS4 community site alone. And there's always things online. There's always people on the wiki site. If you ever need help, you can always look me up, Legion of Light, and send me a friend request. I can absolutely help people out, because this is, again, a brand new character, but I have a character that's on his 9th playthrough now. So yeah, I never mind helping people out when it comes to this game. But no, a big part of Dark Souls is co-op. You can play this entire game by yourself, and become a very self-sufficient, you know, badass solo player, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there are definitely just certain things. Now, they're going to go down there. I'm going to show you guys this up here really quick. Come over here, drop down into this path. Come around here. Get rid of these guys, get rid of this guy, and crap, I'm not going to get it in time. Just going to activate that. Now, what I was trying to do is get to that guy first before he screamed, because now he just woke up all of these guys, which makes this area just a little bit harder to go through. Alright, there we go. Somebody's dead. Alright, get you gone. Get you gone. Now, situations like this in Dark Souls happen all the time. Things will go from nice and peaceful to buttfuckery all of a sudden. And just get used to it until you learn the area. Because, where did he go? Is he up playing with the dragon? Oh, no, there he is. Alright, so we're gonna go up here. We're gonna kill these guys. Shit. Alright, now up here, if you like taking snapshots of your game, the binoculars are definitely the item that you want to do it. You don't want to like sit here and be like, oh yeah, pretty castle, and try to take a picture. It's so much easier to do when you actually have the binoculars out. I just realized that's another part of the game. Alright, then come over here to the other side of the dragon. Don't get stuck on him. And right here, over here, you're going to drop down and turn again, and you will find gold pine resin. Now, what that does is, again, it's consumable. That is one of those ones that you absolutely could equip to use, especially if you want to use status, things like that. What it does is it applies a gel, or resin, like it says, to your weapon, and it turns your weapon into lightning for a little while. And lightning is by far one of the highest damage outputs on the game. There are very few things that are actually lightning resistant, so especially early game, if you're PvPing and stuff like that, it's a really good thing to use. Alright, into this area. We are going to kill the shield guy. Now, what you will see, I'm going to see if I can get him coming in. As soon as we start to come up here, you're going to see that a dragon is going to come flying right up. And what he's going to do is he's going to kill everything there. And here's our first invasion. Now, what I will do is I will either kick ass or I will suck. That's kind of how PvP ends up going. Where is this guy? Use Nessus now before this becomes too sticky. They either come from the other side of that or they come from just over there. And that's where I'm trying to figure out. I can't tell if he's up there or if he's coming from behind. Good job. Is there still a guy up there? Could have sworn I heard something. I have no clue where this guy is. I'm pretty sure he's going to be... Now, the worst thing, realistically, in my head, is dealing with these invaders. Now, you can only be invaded when you are embered. If you are not embered, then you don't have to worry about that. Oh, it's him. Just I still hear an enemy. I can't believe I just turned my back for that. Where is this guy? Oh! Well, guess I know where the invader is. Bro. That is endgame armor. That is bullshit. His connection looks a little on the shitty side. So yeah, he's gonna be a bitch, and he's gonna run. Oh, damn. He got that quick stagger into very bad parry. Alrighty, guys. Well, I think that is where we're going to leave today's stream for right now. Just to introduce you to the game. You will definitely be carrying on into more of this later. But unfortunately, I got dad duties. You can't even see me. That I go to take care of. Mrs. Galaxy Star is going to be home soon. And we got to go kind of celebrate because she passed her test. And I'm really, really excited about that. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining in the stream. Hey, remember, I stream every day except for, I want to say Sundays is my only day off, but again, check out my page. But anyway, guys, thank you very much. If you liked it, then please follow. And those of you who will see this on YouTube, hit that like button and remember to subscribe and hit that bell if you really want to be able to keep up with anything that happens. And again, daily news and gaming, everything is going to be coming up. This video is going to be going up on the Video Geek Gaming. If you guys want to check out Video Geek News, hop right over to that channel. And again, guys, thank you very much for spending some time with me and going through on this awesome Dark Souls 3 walkthrough. And for right now, this is Mr. Gagstar signing out. I will see you guys in the next episode.